Welcome, everyone, to Sports Shorts Daily. Ronnie Rance here with you alongside Tommy Krysan. TK coming to you live from Tremonti's Meat and Seafood right in the heart of Baton Rouge near Parkview Baptist School right off of Airline and Jefferson Highway. Today, of course, over at Tremonti's, lots of great boiled crawfish all weekend long. Now, today on Sports Shorts Daily, presented by LeBear's Casino, where big concert Saturday night at LeBear's Casino, Tommy. A guy who a guy that I was a big fan of in the late 80s, early. I'm still a fan of them, but I mean, they were huge in the late 80s, early 90s. Had a number of great number one hits, a talented guy, an actor, and a singer, Richard Marx, in concert over there this Saturday night. Big show at LeBear's. All right. Today on Sports Shorts, we're going to talk about the LSU spring game, which is this Saturday. You can watch it on ESPN Plus on your app, or you can go for free to the game. Tommy will tell you all about it. The Zurich Classic, the only PGA Tour event in Louisiana, is underway down in Avondale on the West Bank of New Orleans. It is one of the better tour events of the year. The team competition, that's the part that the players love. Some of the teams of note, Sam Burns, of course, is LSU and Louisiana's own. He and Horschel have teamed up. They're underway. Homa and Marikawa, these are just some of the bigger name teams. They've paired up. Some of the old guard, Daly and Duval. We saw John Daly at the Masters a few weeks ago. We had some John Daly stuff on our Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame auction just a few weeks ago. I actually saw him. I was in Nashville on Monday, and I went to a fundraiser that he was putting on Monday night. Saw him there, but he's in New Orleans. Daly and Duval, they're not going to win, but they tee off at 12:18 today, or maybe that was Eastern time. I'm not sure if that's Eastern or Central. Cantlay and Shoffley, that's some really good golfers. They're going to go at it as well at the team. So lots of golf, great weather today. It's expected to rain tomorrow. I know a charity golf tournament in Baton Rouge has already been canceled for tomorrow and postponed to June because of the weather that's expected. So we'll see what kind of effect that has on the Zurich tomorrow. LSU baseball 3-game series this weekend. The Saturday game will be a nationally televised game on ESPN2. That game will be at 2 o'clock. The other two games, Friday and Sunday, are on ESPN Plus. Some news out of Major League Baseball. The Oakland A's purchased some land near the Las Vegas Strip. We'll tell you what that potentially means. Also, some with the NFL draft right around the corner next week, the turf versus grass debate is heating up. There's some data that came out of 2022 and really over the last 11 years that they've been tracking the turf versus the natural grass. We'll tell you about that and why the owners and the players may be a little further apart in their opinions on that debate. But we'll bring in Tommy right now. First off, Zurich, have you ever been to it? Do you like the team event?
I like the team event. I haven't been to it since they started doing the team event, but it's unique. It's the only PGA Tour event like that. The players like it because it's a little bit different, and you got a teammate, and there's some names. And again, you're right. John Daly's not going to win, but there'll be a big crowd following Big John around the course today. The TPC of Louisiana, Brian Kelly played in the Pro-Am earlier this week and made like an 85-foot putt. But I got to say, Ronnie, it had a little heat on it. Good thing it hit the pin. But don't hit the pin; it's way past. Okay, but he made it. He put the
went in.
Yeah, it went in. No pictures on the scorecard. Drew Brees was out there. Some pictures of he and Steve Gleason yesterday. But hey, it's a PGA Tour event. You got Matt Fitzpatrick, who won last week at Hilton Head in the playoff. He's playing. I mean, you go down there if you like to play golf. Many people do. You go down there, you'll see the difference in pros versus even the guy at your club who's really, really good. There's no comparison, between that and what you see with these guys, what they can do with a golf ball, and how small some of them are, and they hit it a mile. But it's a thing in New Orleans that's been very popular for a long, long time. Some of the greatest golfers in the world have played in New Orleans. Ironically, not Tiger Woods. He's never played in New Orleans. He's done some clinics for kids in New Orleans, but he's never played in the PGA event in New Orleans. Speaking of Tiger Woods, surgery on his right foot ankle in New York City 2 days ago. 47 years old. We always say don't count Tiger out. This might be it. 47 years old. Maybe he gets for the champion.
He's fine, Tommy. He's fine.
Okay,
The guy was in an automobile accident where his vehicle flipped. He went up a mountain. He almost lost his leg, and he still came back and played in the Masters. Like a little ankle injury. Come on.
Okay, we'll see, Ron. He's 47 now.
So yeah, over at the Zurich, if you get to 17 and 18, 17, they have a walk-ons big tent, private of big giant party going on over at the 17th green, sponsored by walk-ons, and then when you go to the 18th, they've got the champions tent right there along the fairway where they have all the different restaurants, and you buy the ticket and you go in there and you can get a little bit of food from all the different restaurants, and then all the private boxes around the 18th green. It's an impressive sight, and you're right. It never amazes me, Tommy, because when we play golf, when you go up to a tee box, the tee box that we play at, that's not the one that the pros play at. It's the one where you look to your right and go, oh, wow, they're way back there. I mean, it's amazing how much further, it's 1,000 extra yards at least that they play distance-wise than what, a normal golfer would play over the course of 18 holes. It's pretty incredible. Let's talk a little spring game, LSU football. Everybody can't wait. You've got some details on the times and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a 1 o'clock game. Gates are going to open at 12 o'clock. Free to get in. Free admission. General admission seating on the west side of the stadium. That'll keep you out of the sun when it starts moving around. And look, this is going to be a fancy practice. It's going to be offense versus defense, and then there's going to be some special teams work. You're not going to have purple versus white or purple versus gold or some of the things they've done in past years. This is but it's a chance for free to get on out to Tiger Stadium and watch some football. Check out Jaden Daniels. There's a lot of guys hurt, a lot of guys that are not going to participate on Saturday. But Jaden Daniels will be out there. Garrett Nussmeier will be out there. So you'll be able to get a lot in. The wide receivers, I'm sure they're going to throw the ball around a little bit. Defensively, they're a little banged up. Many guys missing. But it's still going to be LSU football. And I'm sure Brian Kelly will meet with the media after. Again, free admission. Gates 1 through 6 open at 12 noon. General admission seating on the west side of Tiger Stadium.
It's all going to be about the quarterbacks. It's going to be a controlled scrimmage. We will see a little bit of special teams, right? Just to see the kickers do their thing a little bit. But it's just going to be basically like, when you go to a regular practice and at the end they go, okay, with the ones versus ones or ones versus twos, are going to, they go for 10 plays or 20 plays or whatever. That's what it's going to be. It's not going to be the game format. And honestly, not many people do the game format anymore. It used to be fun when they had the draft and it was purple versus white and they had the alumni back and you had, or you had local people like yourself that got to be the coaches.
I was a media coach one year. I think that was 2003. Coach Saban. Derek Dooley was the head coach of the purple, whatever team I was with. And it was Buddy Sanji and I. We were on the sidelines in the locker room. They gave us the same shirt that, the coaches always wore. And it was a lot of fun. I got to admit, I enjoyed being a media coach. But that was 20 years ago. Nobody knows.
Did you ever call a play? Did you get to call a play?
No, but I can tell you a funny story. Coach Saban was just standing on the field kind of talking to coaches on both sidelines. Well, we were down by like 3 points, and we were at about midfield. And Derek Dooley calls timeout. Saban walks over there, and I'm right there in the huddle. Derek Dooley, a couple of other coaches. Saban walks in, and it's like 3rd and 8. Okay, big play. We're about to be done. And Saban looks at Dooley and goes, "Run the reverse." And Dooley says, "Coach, we said no reverses in this game." And he goes, "F them. We're going to run the reverse." So our team goes out there. They run a reverse. And it goes up the other sideline for a touchdown, okay? And the other coaches are screaming at Saban, who's now back in the middle of the field, like, you can't run a reverse. He goes, I can't believe them guys did that. But he was the one who told us to do it. So that was – and then we won, whatever. And one thing they did do, somewhere during the course of the day, they took a nice picture of me on the sideline with, like, the players behind me. And then Saban signed that, and they gave it to us like an 8x10, coaching in the game. And I ended up giving that to my son, and he had it in his room for a long time. He probably don't have it anymore, but he did have it in his for
Well,
him.
you got to get that back. You got to get if he doesn't want it, you got to get that back. That's cool.
Yeah.
Especially after Saban became who he is, right? All right, so
I might have to ask you. I might ask Brett about that next time I talk to him.
absolutely.
Maybe we can put that in the Hall of Fame auction,
No,
right?
no.
No, we can't get $10 for that.
You know what we
Save
are
it,
putting?
Lord,
You know what we are putting in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame auction? The next auction we do, well, we'll do a Rougarou auction in June, and then the next Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame auction will be in July for our Hall of Fame induction weekend. So for the next two auctions, for sure, we'll have it. We've got a purple LSU baseball jersey on the back. Rants 21 signed by me that we'll have in the auction. TK, what do you think the over under will go for? What do you think? $75? You think I can get 75?
I think you're going to go over that.
Okay.
I'm going to bet over $75 for the
Okay.
Rams 21 purple jersey. Is that the one used to hang in Rocco's?
No, it's not the actual jersey. These are replicas, but
Okay.
the actual one that used to be in Rocco's has actually been at LeBear's for the last 10 years. That one's at LeBear's. And they just did some remodeling at the
I know. I
Barstool
saw
Sports.
that you got moved.
Yeah, I
I
got
was
bumped
out
a
there
little
for
bit.
the Marshall Tucker concert last week, and I looked for the Rams jersey. Wasn't where it used to be, but you had told me it got moved. But as you had mentioned, that Barstool Sportsbook, they really kicked that thing up a notch with memorabilia. Yeah. Also, more blackjack tables. I mean, that's really a fine place. If you haven't seen it, and even if you don't want to gamble, just go check it out. Go to the casino, check it out, get some great food. Everything I've ever got there to eat at the Barstool Sportsbook is really good. Go check it out. People need to do that.
Yeah, like I said, it's an awesome venue just to watch sports. It's a lot of fun. It's colorful, TVs everywhere, and Rachel saying my mom will bet at least 100. I don't know. She's not as impressed with my memorabilia, Rachel, as maybe like other people's. But I'll tell you, Carl saying plus 125 on the over, the over 75 bucks for the jersey.
Look at him.
How long does Casey have to wait to be inducted into Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in boxing? Forever, Chris. Forever.
That's a great question, Chris.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, the Barstool Sportsbook over there, they kind of remodeled the thing. Trey Ledbetter and the gang did some good stuff. They got some really cool memorabilia up there. And, my jersey got moved to the wall. But, hey, on that wall, Tommy, Terry Bradshaw's on the same wall as me. He's got a Louisiana Tech Terry Bradshaw jersey, so I can't complain about that. All right, so let's talk a little LSU baseball for a minute. The Tigers, I don't think the national – voters and media and all that understand the struggle right now that is LSU baseball. They see that Tommy White and Dylan Cruz and Jared Jones and Dugas and all these guys are putting up these crazy numbers. Probably so, Ma. But the bottom line is that the pitching it's crisis mode. And look, all you got to do is talk to Jay Johnson privately. I mean, the stress is written all over his face. I mean, he even apologized to me when I had a conversation with him the other day. He said, I'm probably in a little bit of a grumpy mood because, I mean, he's just losing pitchers left and right and then has no answer for what's going on with, Thatcher Hurd, why he's now had 7 bad outings this year, Tommy. I mean, look, neither you or I was a superstar in college at Southeastern or LSU, but neither one of us had 7 bad outings in one season, and that's what Thatcher Hurd did, and we're not even in May.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, that's definitely the red flag that went way up the pole because everybody's gonna have a bad outing. Everybody's gonna have a second bad outing. There's days when you just don't have it. But 7 in a row from a guy with his credentials, his stuff. I know he had the back surgery last year. He didn't pitch a whole lot in the fall, not as much as some other pitchers did. But still, that shouldn't be the case to have 7 bad outings with no command. I mean, I know they're hoping to snap out of it, but he needs to. He needs to snap out and step up. LSU needs 3 or 4 pitching guys to really step up. Because after Paul Skeens and a so-so Ty Floyd, lots of question marks.
Yeah, I mean, really, honestly, Tommy, right now, outside of what those are your two starters, right? Paul Skeens, a so-so Ty Floyd, a Christian Little that I think we all believe can at least get you three out the gate on Sunday, kind of like what Cartwright did, kind of like what Sam Dutton did. You know, you're not expecting to give them the ball and them go 5 or 6 every time, but can they get you through the order one time and then turn it over to the rest of the bullpen? Yeah, Christian Little's capable of that. So that's what you have. You have a Ty Floyd that maybe can go 5. You have a Christian Little that maybe can go 3. And then you got a Paul Skeens that you have to baby with the pitch count because he's going to be the first or second pick in the draft, and you don't want to make his agents mad, and you don't want to make the scouts mad. So he's probably sitting on a 110 pitch count, something around that number. So whatever 110 gets you, and for a guy who strikes out a lot of batters, and he strikes out over 17 per 9 innings, 110 gets you about 6 innings. And so he's going to give you 6, maybe 7 on a great day. And so that's 6, 5 is 11, 3 is 14. In a 3-game series, you play 27 innings. Right there, if they all go well, Skeens 6, Floyd 5, and Little 3, that's 14 innings, Tommy. My Menard High math says there's 13 more innings that you've got to find in that bullpen, and I don't know where they come from.
Well, Ronnie, let's back it up a month. We were talking about all the 10-run rule games and how that was affecting LSU pitching, at-bats, defensive, or whatever. Now, let's shift that. If they can win Friday by the 10-run rule, that's 2 less innings you got to pitch with a suspect bullpen. So now, as we were kind of, being befuddled by the 10-run rule, now it may be a help. Or if on Saturday you can win by 10 runs and save those couple of innings, because then you get into a shootout on Sunday. So, hey, it's going to be fun to watch this play out.
It's going to be stressful, and what they're looking for, Tom, is they're looking for Riley Cooper to hit some consistency. They're looking for Thatcher Hurd to miraculously turn it around. They're looking for Collins, who was really the star of last week, kind of like Guidry was the star of the week before. They're looking for Guidry and Collins to get consistent. And again, 4 out of every 5 times you go out there, you got to be able to do your job. That way coaches can count on you. If not, then it's just flipping coins. But I think they can maybe find 3 relievers that they can really have confidence in, that they kind of know what they're getting. That's not enough.
Well, and nothing's easy in the SEC, but they do have an easier second half of the schedule with the opponents and the records that they have versus what they had in the first half. So maybe that can help a couple of them pitchers step up, because you're not going to be throwing against, the Arkansas, and like you said the other day, they don't play Vanderbilt in Florida this year. That's a scheduling star that fell out of the sky into LSU's lap. So let's see if they can get it done. I mean, there's still time to go. And we talked about this last Saturday on the radio. I don't think it's time to hit the panic button yet, but we'll see what happens this weekend. It could be a panic button push next week. I don't know.
Couple quick national stories, and before we get to those quick national stories in sports, I want to tell you about the Baton Rouge Rougarou golf tournament. If you just want to come on out and play as an individual, we'll put you on a team with a celebrity. If you want to put in a golf team to play, we've got about 4 slots available for teams. It's Monday, May 1st at Greystone Golf and Country Club. Monday, May 1st at 10 a.m. is when it starts. We'll have food and breakfast and registration at 8:30. Lots of food and drink on the course. Lots of prizes by Marucci. You're going to get some Rougarou swag when you check in at the registration. So come check it out. It is this Monday, May 1st, a week from this coming Monday. Individual spots available. And we also have teams available. Go to brrougarou.com, brrougarou.com, and you can click on the link right there. The first thing you'll see is the golf tournament. Also, we got some really cool hats, jerseys, all that online. All right, 2 quick national stories. One is the Oakland A's, Tommy, purchased some land right off the Las Vegas Strip. This is not a surprise. This is expected. The Oakland Raiders already moved to Las Vegas. The Oakland market is not a good market. Obviously San Francisco's already covered with the Giants. the community of Oakland and all that area is not what it used to be. They've got an old stadium, no plans for a new one. That's why the Raiders moved. This is a foregone conclusion that the A's are going to, and when they do, it's going to be a home run.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, And Oakland's not the greatest sports city in the world. Now they're right across the bay from Frisco, and we can't relate to that. It'd be like going from
that's where Golden State was, and they moved from Oakland to.
Yeah, but I mean that's
San
like going from here to Denham Springs, and you got another major team. But anyway, so it's a matter of time, and I think it's going to be a home run when they move and they'll change the name. And, Oakland, they won them 3 straight World Series back in the '70s when I was a kid. You knew all the names, Catfish Hunter and Reggie Jackson and Raleigh Fingers. I mean, you knew all the guys when you were a kid following baseball. But it just hasn't worked in Oakland for a while. They need to do this. Major League Baseball wants them to do this. And they want to get into the Vegas market like football did. Hockey's in the Vegas market. I won't be surprised to see the NBA there one day either.
I went to an Oakland A's game against the Chicago White Sox 34 years ago, Tommy, when Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire were playing for them in 1989. They went on to win the World Series that year in the famous Earthquake Series against the Giants. In that Giants series, by the way, was Will Clark, Louisiana Sports Hall of Famer, played for the Giants. And, oh, by the way, I send a shout out to Case Joseph, my nephew over in Dallas, has a birthday today. Huge Will Clark fan. Got Will Clark to sign him a bunch of stuff, so he's excited about that. But anyway, 34 years ago, the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, which was the name of the stadium back then before sponsorships, was an old, terrible building. So 34 years later, imagine what it's like. And that's why Golden State moved. That's why the Raiders moved. And that's why the Oakland A's are going to move. Let's move on to the other quick national story. There's a debate going on right now between turf versus natural grass in the NFL. Players are saying we want the with Trey. I'm glad Trey listens to the show, Tom, and we've been pumping up Trey and pumping up
Trey
weeks and how it's been remodeled. And he just jumps in, and then he wants free publicity, and then he wants to run right out. He doesn't listen to the show. He doesn't hear all his all the love we've been giving him for the last few weeks. But the turf versus natural grass debate. I'll tell you where I am on this. World Cup soccer, which, of course, I'm a giant soccer fan, Tommy. World Cup soccer refuses to play World Cup soccer matches on any fields that aren't all natural grass. They don't want the stadiums that have turf. Matter of fact, because World Cup's coming to the United States and Canada and Mexico in 3 years or 4 years, there's a lot of stadiums a lot of cities that want to host a World Cup. They're actually getting rid of turf in a few cities to put in natural grass to lead up to it, to have a chance to get these matches. So it's not good enough for soccer. Last year, here's the statistics. Now, you can figure out the difference here. Last year on turf, on the fake stuff, per 100 chances or whatever, 0.048. So for every 100 chances, less than 1%, basically half of 1%, 0.048 led to some sort of lower extremity injury. Whereas on natural grass, per 100, 0.035. Now, that's not a giant gap when it comes to anything else, but I'm telling you right now that Mark Satanovich saying Zion is ready. Of course he is.
That's funny.
But 10 of the last 11 years, the gap between the fake stuff and the real stuff has been gigantic. And I'm telling you right now that you're going to see a day pretty soon where there's natural grass fields in all the stadiums. They're going to get rid of the turf.
I agree with you completely. And, when you look at Arizona where their natural grass is outside and they slide it in to play the games, they still get the dome effect. I guarantee you it'd be a baseball stadium in Vegas. It'll be grass, but you're going to see some of that. You don't always have the space to do. I don't think they could do that at the Superdome.
Well, here's the thing. Who knows what they're going to come up with, Tommy, at some point? Are you going to be able to bring grass in on pallets and put them together or something, break it down? I don't know. Obviously, if you've got a real old school dome like the Saints have, there's no way they can do turf. But in all these newer stadiums and newer domes where you have that ability to slide it out, slide it in, that sort of thing, or have two different types of floors, the Players Association is requesting natural grass at every stadium that they can possibly have. And quite frankly, people get hurt more in the fake stuff. It's just the bottom line of it. Tommy, tell us about Tremonti's before we get out of here.
Today, the lunch special is jambalaya, and of course, they got all the wine and whiskey you need for the weekend, the other liquor as well. They got chicken, they got pork, the Chairman's Reserve steaks, they got Wagyu beef here if you want some of that. A lot going on at Tremonti's, boiled crawfish, live crawfish. They still got plenty of all of that coming. Place your order, and they'll have it ready for you. Tremonti's Meat and Seafood. Hit them up on Facebook or Instagram. Give them a call or stop by on Jefferson Highway in Baton Rouge. They got everything you need for the weekend at Tremonti's Meat and Seafood.
All right. Well, Tommy and I and Hunter McCann and Joel Davis and all will be live over at Barstool Sportsbook inside LeBairs, the newly remodeled Barstool Sportsbook inside LeBairs, as far as all the sports memorabilia is concerned. We'll be there from 10 to noon on Saturday. You can listen to us on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. And then on Monday, we'll be back for Sports Shorts Daily, and we'll recap the spring game. We'll recap LSU Ole Miss series, who won the Zurich, and recap all of that. So make sure you like and share this video, and we'll see you on Monday for more Sports Shorts Daily. And don't forget to check us out on the radio this Saturday morning. For Tommy Christ saying, I'm Ronnie Rance. Have a great one, everybody.